going on, everyone? It's Gary323. Now we're going to be going over this microphone, doing an overview and of the Fifine Ampligame AM8T. This was sent over to me by Fifine themselves. Thank you very much for this overview. And then we're going to go over the box right now. So here's the side. Here's the package contents. So you get the mic, USB, C-clamp, boom arm, and user manual. And then on the other side, you just see a couple features. So RGB control or controllable RGB lights, tap to mute, headphone volume control, mic gain, and real-time monitoring jack. Means you could hear yourself while you're talking into the mic. Here's the rear of the mic. And let's go ahead and get into it. Let's open it. So on top, we have the quick guide user manual. So if you need some help assisting setting up, it tells you how to do this. And then this also works for PS4 and PS5 if you want to use this for those two platforms. And let's go ahead and go under this. So here is everything inside the box. We got a couple items. So here is a USB-C that's supplied. It's USB-C to USB-A with the Fifine Velcro. And then we're going to get the C-clamp. This is a C-clamp that connects the boom arm to the desk. And it feels pretty sturdy. And then it has a little rubber top. Now let's go ahead and get the microphone. So the microphone's made out of plastic. So it's not very heavy, but it feels durable. So on the side you see Fifine. Let's do a quick tour around it. See the windscreen. On the other side you see Fifine. And it also uses a yoke style mounting, kind of like the Shure MV7. Let's go ahead and remove this. And then you can see the capsule is underneath this. Well, you can't really see it in this shot, but the capsule is underneath this. And here on the side is some controls. So you got the gain knob and then the audio monitoring volume knob and the RGB selector. On the bottom you got 3 inputs. So you got the headphone monitor jack, USB-C, and XLR. So it's very similar to like the Shure MV7 with the 2 different connections. And let's go ahead and look at the top. On the top, here's a mute button. So it's touch capacitive. So it's green when it's active and red when it's muted. And so let's go ahead and put this aside. And then let's get a quick look at the boom arm. So it's pretty much kind of like a standard budget boom arm that you could get off of Amazon for real cheap. Nothing too crazy. So it's very stiff at first. But one thing I like, it includes the adapter. So this uses, I forget what the thread is, but it includes it. So you could mount the microphone on there. And you can remove it too if you wanted to use it on the microphone for this boom arm. Let's go ahead and get onto the mic. All right, we're using the microphone through the USB and the headphone monitoring. So right now I hear myself with no lag. It's very similar to the Blue Yeti. If you ever use the Blue Yeti, you have the same type of input on this microphone. So you're set. There's 2 knobs on the bottom. There's one for the volume for your headphone monitoring. And then the second one is for your gain. I'm not going to mess with it. I have my gain set to 12 o'clock, like right in the middle. You don't want it too much, because if you have it too much, you're going to have sound very distorted. On top, there's a mute touch capacitive button. If I press it, and then it turns green when it's active. You have your RGB. There's also a touchpad on this that allows you to select the RGB. And then if you want to turn off the RGB, all you have to do is hold it and it'll turn off. And if you want to turn it back on, you hold it again and it's back on. Let's go ahead and put it back to the purple. Right now it kind of doesn't look like purple, but it's purple. But it sounds good. And then you have to have it directly in front of you. This is a corduroy microphone. It has to be in front of you. Now let's do like a proximity sound. So let's go ahead and do a proximity check. Hello, this is talking the left of the mic. Then we're coming back around, then you can hear me again. We're gonna go to the right of the mic. This is the right of the mic. Hello, microphone check. Microphone check. Sounds pretty good. And let's go ahead and do a quick typing test. and then I just snap my fingers at the end. So I think it's pretty good. And then we're gonna do a comparison, or like I'm just gonna do both sounds with XLR and USB, and you guys make a decision on what sounds good. Okay, now we're utilizing the mic using XLR from the rear of the mic into a Focusrite 2i2 3rd gen. Now this XLR cable is not included, so you will need to supply your own XLR cable. On the Focusrite, I have my gain set to around like 3 o'clock to give you an idea on how much gain I'm using. This is a dynamic microphone, so you do not need 48 volt phantom power. So you just plug your XLR cable into the rear of the mic and then into your interface, and then adjust the gain to your liking. I wouldn't go too much. I wouldn't put too much gain into the microphone to make it sound very distorted. The more gain you add, the more distortion you'll get. So let's go ahead and do a proximity test. So this is a microphone check to the left side. Proximity check, microphone check, microphone check. And now we're in the front of the mic again. Now we're gonna go to the right side of the mic. This is the right side of the mic. Microphone check, microphone check. Now we're back in the front of the mic. So let's go ahead and do a quick typing test to give you an idea on how the microphone will sound if you are a PC gamer and you're gaming with your mouse and keyboard on the desk that your microphone is mounted to. So that's a quick idea on how it would sound. Also, you notice that there's no more RGB because there's no USB connected. So if you have the XLR connected only, you lose the functionality of the USB, the mute button, and these knobs on the bottom. So headphone monitoring, you can't use it while XLR is connected or while you're utilizing the XLR. However, something like the Focusrite 2i2 has that type of functionality to have headphone monitoring. But if you really wanted the RGB, you still could connect a USB to it. You could have the USB and the XLR connected, and you could have the RGB showcasing, and you still could change the color of the RGB. However, then at that point you have extra cable hanging around, so that's up to you. Let's go ahead and do a quick sound comparison between the microphone using XLR and USB. Okay, this is XLR. Gaming streaming microphone, clean detailed voice, dynamic cardio capsule, convenient USB connection, studio XLR connection, quick mute, volume control, controllable RGB, and headphone monitoring. Just read a quick bit on the rear of the box. This is USB. Gaming streaming microphone, clean detailed voice, dynamic cardio capsule, convenient USB connection, studio XLR connection, quick mute, volume control, controllable RGB, headphone monitoring. Read the quick bit on the rear of the box. All right, let's go ahead and do a quick conclusion. So we've got a couple pros and cons. So as far as the pros, the affordability for this kit is pretty good. At the time of this video, this kit costs $55. I don't know how long the sale's going on, but retail is $72, which is still not that bad for this type of sound quality and just a ready-to-go kit if you're starting off. Another pro is the functionality. You have your knobs for gain, you have your knobs for headphone monitoring sound or volume, you have XLR, you have USB, you can use either or. It's a lot. You have a mute button, touch capacitive mute button, real quick, boom, you're muted. Plug and play, really simple. You plug it in and your PC should recognize it, and you could change the setup within the Windows itself and make it real quick. The RGB, you could change the RGB, you could turn off the RGB. I mean, there's not too much like you could do with the RGB. There's only a couple cycle colors you could go through, but it's there. Headphone monitoring is another one. I know a lot of people like to hear themselves when they're using the microphone, so if you have a Blue Yeti, this has that same type of functionality if you're into that type of thing. Instant mute button, like I mentioned earlier, but the biggest thing is like just the start off point of it. Say for example you don't have a mixer and you plan on getting one later down the line, you could do that. You don't have to buy a new microphone. I don't have many cons at all. Like the one of the main cons I have is the microphone build quality. It's made out of plastic, but I mean it doesn't deter from the sound quality itself. But for example, since this boom arm is pretty budget friendly, it's not very sturdy or heavy or anything like that. But say for example you wanted to upgrade the boom arm to like a Rode PSA 1 or whatever, that microphone boom arm is meant for heavier mics, so this mic might just like fling up because it's spring loaded. I haven't tried it, but that's just my thought since this microphone's very light. But do I think it's worth it? I do. I think it's very much worth it. Let me know what you guys think about it, and until the next video, whenever that is, enjoy. Happy holidays. You guys have a good one. Be safe. Bye.